Good morning, Mrs. America, and all the ships at sea. This is a tight run operation. Walter Wenzel reporting here. The most reliable rumor that we have heard on the airways today: stop the presses. Nobody gives a darn whether. As a matter of fact, they wrote a song about this Epstein sordid affair, and it's called "Who Cares."
Who cares?
So, all right, let's get serious.
Good riddance.
Good riddance is exactly right. Let's get down to serious business. Viewpoint always tries to come up at least weekly with a kudo or two. A huge kudo to the folks at the Eminence Christian Church who last Saturday served their veterans. I think this is the fifth one. A really nice breakfast and a short program, very appropriate program, honoring the veterans, and hugely present among them was, yes, I'll tell you. How much time do we have? Oh, well, I'll take it between now and 9 o'clock. I'll tell you.
We should have stood in bed today.
In any event, we appreciate the work they did up there. They've done that now for 4 or 5 years, and the veterans at the home, bow your head when you say the home, come up and by bus, and we have a good breakfast. And by the way, I noted one of our judicial candidates, Mr. Jonathan Wright, former state attorney, was up there frying bacon. So it was a nice morning, and we really appreciate it. And Judith K., one of our two listeners, came up and reminded me, he says, that'll be a good kudo for you, Bill.
So there.
Yeah, so there we are. So one of our 50% of our listeners came up and talked to me. And let's get down to serious business.
Okay, but one more, I got one more unserious.
Yes.
Okay, you mentioned Jonathan Wright.
Yes.
I saw him just recently, and he said that he had said to his young son, he said, "Ufta," which a term, it's Norwegian, and it's the best word in the world. It fits most situations. And he said "Ufta" to his son, and his son looked at him and said, "I don't know that." And he probably didn't. Well, anyway, moving right along.
Yeah, we've got a big announcement to make. By the way,
yes.
The proximity of Elkhart reminds me, they found a whistleblower. He was in the motel in Broadwell.
Was he? Yeah. I hope he's having a nice time.
Which brings us to Elkhart. And our friend Peter Niehaus has sent me an email. There's a big deal going on down there. Judith K., Well, there are big deals here and there. Our whole program today is addressing a big deal in the big city of Lincoln, America. Yeah. But this is a note to Bill, and it's from, as he says, Peter Niehaus. And Peter says, here's the scoop. All three shops, Horse Feathers, the Country Bumpkin, and Birdsong Books and Vintage, are having their annual Christmas open houses this Saturday, November 23rd, 9 to 4. Each shop will have cookies and treats for their customers to enjoy while shopping. The Wild Hare Cafe will be serving lunch from 11 to 3 with specials for the occasion. So that's very nice. And the communities of the county of Logan are really getting on the Christmas bandwagon. It's almost here again. I don't know how that happens. Well, that'll be a nice affair down here in Elkhart. Those folks do a nice job in that community down there, pulling together and making things happen. You always get a fine meal there at Peter's place. He's the best cook, carpenter man I know. He's an excellent carpenter, too. So go right ahead, Judith K.
Okay, well, now we are going to talk about the Christmas Express in downtown Lincoln.
Is it gone through already?
It's coming. In downtown Lincoln, Small Business Saturday, November 30th, and that's almost here, too. So I thought your little factoid this morning that you were sharing with us about all the downtown businesses, 3 are not owned by women. Wasn't that the number? Isn't that amazing?
We're pretty proud of it.
So you girls are right on top of it all. Lisa Drew and Kathy Williams are with us. They are business owners in downtown Lincoln, and they're going to talk about their Christmas Express.
Well, let's do more than talk about business owners. Restaurante, a great place to get pizza and other assorted foods there with Mrs. Drew's, Sorrento's. Recently, 2 years now? How long have you been moved?
We moved to our new location a year ago, and it was the end of August, so we've been there just over a year.
You know, I think I'm correct in this. Of course, I'm slipping a little bit, but anyway, when I was in business on Chicago Street, Kookaroos had a restaurant down there where Kirpin's grocery store was. That's many years back.
Yes.
That was their first business operation.
Well,
Sorrento's.
actually, when they first opened, it was like next door, and I don't know how long they were there at that location. Maybe a few months. It could have been a year.
Mm-hmm.
I believe there was a union hall in there after that. I'm not sure if that is still in there, but they opened that little shop in there in 1969, and they made pizzas in the front, and they had a curtain, and they lived in the back. A lot of people do not know that. You wouldn't be able to do that nowadays, but that's the way they lived when they came here first in 1969. Then they bought Kirpin's grocery store there and operated out of there until 1998.
And now here we are right on downtown Broadway next to the old Vogue Theater. Or not next to it, but close to the old Vogue Theater.
Close to it.
Yeah.
I think the building that we're in, it was, of course, before us, it was MKS, but years ago, wasn't it the Herald News, New Herald News? It was a newspaper.
Oh, well.
That was the original, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Well, now that...
Let's talk about the Christmas...
I haven't finished.
Sorry.
I haven't finished earning. She's paying me under the table for a little commercial.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't want to interfere with the exchange of monies.
No, I want to make note of the restaurant. It's a nice place, so go right ahead, dear. Yes, I'm passing the time.
Am I it?
Oh, I want to tell you about a Judaism. My friend Mrs. Busby here, whom I lived next to for 44 years, we were discussing the finality of life.
Because we are getting older, did you notice?
And arrangements that should be made and so forth. And Judith Kay says, now, let's see, you're going to be crucified?
I knew it was a C word I was looking for.
And she couldn't remember the difference between crucified and cremation. So I said, I don't think that's...
I'm very articulate.
That's not my plans. So let's get serious and introduce these guys.
We got to.
They made a trip up
we
here.
Just got
to.
us. Now, are you officers in a downtown association? Is that how you came up with your Christmas Express idea?
I'll talk a little bit, and then I'll let Kathy talk a little bit. But we don't have like a formal downtown association yet. We just have a lot of great business people downtown that care about who we are and what we want to provide to the community. And last summer, I began thinking about, wouldn't it be fun if we kind of all got together and did some kind of a special event for Christmas? And in the meantime, Kathy was also thinking about maybe forming some type of a downtown group. So she and I were both talking to people individually, and finally we decided, let's just do it. Let's have a meeting. Let's see what people were interested in, and that's what we did.
That's how it got kick-started.
Yes, it was.
So here we are. We've got the event planned for next Saturday.
Are the people coming along with the ideas now of approaching things together?
I think so. We've had several people that have made almost every meeting that we had, and for a while we were meeting. At first, it was like every couple weeks, and then weekly,
Good.
kind of to put all of this together.
Well, bless your hearts. We need help in our community, don't we? It's imperative that we all grab hold of these things.
Absolutely.
And support them.
And it's wonderful right now. We have a bunch of very enthusiastic business owners downtown.
Great.
Would you agree with that,
Yeah, I
Kathy?
think everybody's ready to see Lincoln, kind of kick back in and really start thriving again. So,
It's time.
Would I be correct in saying it, and it appears to me, I couldn't be probably wrong, usually anyway, do we have a younger set of business owners in around the square here? It seems to me like we have a younger group of people that are kind of taking charge, which is a good thing.
I don't think I'm old, do you?
No,
I'm older than you are.
No, I include both of you in that category of younger.
I think overall, we are. It's a nice broad range, and that really helps with, attracting all ages downtown. It helps to get great ideas because we have a lot of people that are thinking, a lot of business owners have the younger children. So, and then we have, like myself, my children are all grown and out of the house. So we really kind of can attract all age groups because of who we are. So I think it's nice. We all blend and work together.
Well, it just seemed to me in visually taking myself a walk around the square that most of the folks there, I think, are what I would call in the younger category, which is a good thing. It's really a very good thing. Instead of having a bunch of old fellows chomping on cigars and throwing down whiskey after meetings.
Well, I think it's good to see that we have a lot of young people that are interested in downtown and that have chosen to spend time downtown and take advantage of what we have to offer downtown. I'm talking about those that, of course, that patronize the area, as well as the younger shop owners. And I think it kind of speaks to the feel that our small downtown gives people. We know each other, we work together with each other, we support each other, and we're just really glad that we have this opportunity to be there with each other.
Well, I kind of stepped up and filled the so-called gap of no Chamber of Commerce per se. In the old days, we had the Chamber of Commerce. I was kidding about the old boys sitting around chopping on cigars and so forth. And, well, I think we ought to do this. And so, but you have a bunch of young people who get together. So let's get specific about this Christmas Express now. That's November the 30th, which is just around the corner and 10 days hence. So tell us about what is Christmas Express? Which one of you ladies go first?
Well, the Christmas Express will take place, as you've already said, on November the 30th, which is incidentally happens to be Small Business Saturday, and it'll be the Saturday after Thanksgiving. The event will open that day, but it will actually maybe we should talk a little bit about what's going to happen that day before I talk about the how long it's going to be and all of those types of things. But it will open that day, and our plans are to turn downtown Lincoln into what you see on the Hallmark Channel. We want to make it look like a Christmas town, a little village that is all decked out for Christmas. There will be several things going on. The first thing is that there will be a gingerbread contest for whoever wants to participate, and area schools have been notified, correct, Kathy? And we think that we're going to have a lot of children that are going to be making gingerbread houses, and they are all going to be at the tourism, which is at the depot. And you will have the opportunity to go see them and to vote for your favorite one. And the one that wins the People's Choice will get a prize. Santa Claus will be there. We are going to have within the downtown area at different locations. Are you familiar with the Elf on the Shelf? Okay, this is a live Elf on the Shelf. So you never know where the live Elf on the Shelf is going to be. So that will be an element of surprise that I'm sure that everybody will enjoy. We also plan to have activities for children. There's going to be a little train that will go around the inner sidewalk on the courthouse for children.
How nice.
At 11 o'clock, the theater will be showing the Polar Express free for children.
Oh, neat.
What else, Kathy?
We have different groups that are going to be, we're going to have carolers all around downtown. Every hour on the hour, we'll have a different group, and those start at 11. And they'll sing for a half hour, 45 minutes or so, and just kind of spread some Christmas cheer.
Well, bless your hearts. You have been thinking and working.
Yeah,
This is
We've
wonderful.
had a lot of people that have offered ideas that we were so appreciative of, and we just kind of weeded through those ideas and decided what was going to work for downtown and what we thought was going to be feasible. In addition to all of the things going on downtown, you'll be able to pick up tickets from any of the participating businesses and also at tourism, correct, Kathy?
Yeah, tourism. Morgan at the tourism is going to be our conductor, and she's going to be kind of in charge over there and watching things, and she'll have tickets as well to pass out. And then you can take these tickets to all your, just take your ticket to all the different stores, and every store you make a purchase at will stamp your ticket. And then, and you can do that not only Small Business Saturday, but the next week through the 8th. So every time you make a purchase at a store, you can get your ticket stamped, and then you can turn that in, and we're going to have a drawing for over $500 in gift cards for downtown businesses.
Wow.
Somebody's been thinking out of the box,
There are 21 participating.
Some folks gathered together here, and we're going to do something about Christmas, and by golly, they're doing it.
Yeah. And and the great thing about it is this is just our first year. We've been planning for what seems to be a short time, because we did it really quick, but I know we were kind of already shooting ideas around for next year. And so we just want to grow for next year and keep going. So, this is our first year. It's our startup year, and we're always, excited to see what we can do and go from.
He's talking about growing and keeping going. We have something called sponsorship here. And if we don't honor these nice sponsors, we're not going to keep growing here at WLCN. So we're going to take a few minutes time right now. Mr. Ash is flipping the dials, and go right ahead, James. Right back live in the studio here at WLCN, talking about Christmas, even though Thanksgiving Day is not here yet. But we have
darn near here.
Some great folks in our Lincoln business area downtown who have been working hard on some plans for Christmas Express, which is next Saturday. Let me see, November the 30th. No, that's 10 days hence. So, okay, that's Saturday after. Lisa Drew and Kathy Williamson representing the downtown merchants, and we appreciate your taking your time and sharing this with us. I noticed in looking at your little card there that you're also going to have a Facebook exposure, or do have already. For those who are out there who are so well versed that they know what Facebook is and how to find it, tell us a little bit about your site on Facebook and what will it tell them?
Well, we had, it seems like that's the way to go anymore. So we advertised Ethan Heineke with Guest House. He drew up our Facebook page and started it. So we have all the information out there. We've opened it up to all the different businesses so that they can all advertise anything they're doing special at their store that day. And then we also are doing advertising all of our other, like our gingerbread house display is advertised on there, and there's a link for that. Our Winter Wonderland Festival's on there. So all the different events will be located out there so people can kind of have an idea what's going on and where to go to see things.
Well, there are a lot of plans made now. If just Chris Miller will come along with us and give us the weather we deserve.
Yes.
We always like to tell him the weather's great. He's a nice fella. Weather's not so great. He's kind of drops off a little bit in popularity.
We will take snow that day. It would
snow
be fine.
would be great.
Just a little bit of
You've
snow.
ordered it?
Not to hinder the traffic, but
Chris will accommodate you. He's a very nice fellow. You've mentioned to one another a couple times about the trees, and I'd like to know too. So somebody tell me about the trees, Kathy.
The trees were kind of a crazy idea. I was with my hairdresser.
That is crazy, Kathy.
Well,
That's right.
that's how they all start. So, I went to my hairdresser, and she said she always goes out of town, and she sponsors a tree for her father-in-law, and who's passed, and she said, I wish Lincoln did something like that. And that was 2 years ago. And I always thought, well, since then I've opened my store and been down there, and I said, well, I wonder if I could do that. And so I got with Lisa, and I said, what do you think of this idea? And so I went to some board meetings and got approval, and I did all that stuff. And so what we have is our own little Winter Wonderland Festival. This year we got approved for 40 trees. So we're going to have 40 live Christmas trees that are going to be delivered this Friday. We have the CEO group from the high school here that are going to help us set them up Saturday.
That's a great organization, by the way.
I'm one of the mentors, and so I talked with Britta, and she was great. She's like, yep, kids would love to do it. So we're going to have coffee and hot chocolate and donuts for them at my store. And then I said, well, you go out and we can set these trees up. So we're going to line the west side of the courthouse with Christmas trees. And then each tree has been sponsored, and the sponsors will get a sign that either says season greetings or in loving memory, however they wanted it worded. Mm-hmm. And then we have all the information going on there, and then they can come starting Sunday decorating the tree how they'd like.
Each individual
tree will be set up, and they can decorate them however they like. And
how nice.
Then next Friday, the 29th at 5:30, we're going to have our tree lighting ceremony. So we're going to light up Kickapoo Street.
How neat. That's a very neat idea.
That is so
great. That should be a real crowd pleaser, because
we're hoping to have a great turnout, and we're asking the community that even if you didn't sponsor a tree, come down and enjoy it, because it started out as just a dream and a passion, and here it is. And so now we're just hoping that in the years, we went through the 40 trees. I mean, they were gone in about a week.
Is that right?
Really?
Yeah. So we had people coming in and getting the sponsorship forms and filling them out, and so we had a great feedback. And then we still had, after all 40 trees were spoken, we still had people coming in. Can I get a tree? And so I said, next year hopefully we'll double it. My goal is in 4 years to surround the courthouse with trees, so we have them all over.
Now you alluded to that as a crazy idea. That's far from the description. That's just thinking out of the box. And there's a hell of a difference between thinking out of the box and crazy. So, congratulations to you. That may be the highlight of the weekend, Judith Kay, to see all those trees lit at one time down there. And as you suggest, this could grow, and maybe next year, a couple of years, I won't be here, that you'll see the whole courthouse surrounded.
Yeah.
Maybe I can get a trip back from wherever I go just to see that. That's neat. And I think that will be perhaps the highlight of all your work to get this thing organized on November the 30th. I think the little rides around the inside of for the kids will be nice.
Yeah, let's enlarge upon that a little bit too. The train rides.
The train rides?
Please and thank you.
So we looked around, and we wanted something for the kids to be able to do. The parents can shop. They can. We're going to have the carriage rides, the horse and carriage rides again this year downtown. But we wanted something specific for the kids. So, at that time it was about pumpkin patch season, and, we'd see all the pictures of the kids riding the train at the pumpkin patches. So we started looking around, and we found a gentleman who is out of Taylorville, and he has his little engine looks like a little train, and he's got the little carts behind it, and he will take the kids for a ride around the inside sidewalk of the courthouse square, and then just take the kids around and have fun. Its donations are going to be accepted because the gentleman, him and his wife, do it, and this is kind of what they do. They all year they take this train around and do it for donations, and all the donations, all the proceeds, go to the foundation they have set up to take kids fishing.
How neat.
And so they take all their proceeds and they take the kids out, and they buy them fishing poles, or they'll buy them sleeping bags, and they get them out and out into the, environment and get to go do things that maybe they wouldn't get to do.
There's a couple
Nice
of great
people
citizens.
have a way of finding
Yeah.
nice people to help them to further their ends, and this is such good news to me. We've lived in Lincoln now for, well, as the old folks would say, we're not from here, but we've been here a long time. And I've seen Lincoln change, and it hasn't had much of a growth spurt lately. And this gives
We
me
haven't
hope.
had any Kathys and Lisas, that's why.
Well, that's right. We need more Kathys and more Lisas, that's for sure. This gives me big hope. You girls are just a wonder. I really appreciate this, and I'm so happy that the merchants downtown are backing you and promoting all this and providing for it. This is just great.
Well,
we
as a guy
mention
on-
that-
Go ahead, honey.
Did we mention that we had 21 businesses that are involved in this and will be on your tickets? So there will be 21 different businesses that you can visit during that time.
Yeah, and as I started to say, the guy on TV says, "What's in your wallet?" You don't have to bring your wallet, but we sure would appreciate it if they bring a wallet downtown. All the little folks are enjoying the little things for the kids. Open the wallet a little bit. These folks have, unfortunately, Christmas got to be so commercial when I was a kid, even, and long before I was a kid. And it's nice to get hometown, small-town efforts combined to make this more meaningful, and it's just a part of our community, and we're all going to walk off that courthouse square. We're all going to feel better. So,
What are your hours going to be on the 30th for the Express?
I think most of the shops downtown.
I know us personally, normally on Saturdays, we're open 10 to 3, but for a lot of the events through Christmas, my store is going to be open that day from 10 to 7. So we will have extended hours, especially that day, but we want everybody to come down, have a good time, but we also want people to stay local, shop local. Lincoln has a lot of little hidden treasures, and I think that people are so quick to go out of town and come downtown, see what we have to offer. And I think for us to be able to give back and do that, that's our Christmas gift to Lincoln for supporting us throughout the year. So, we're excited to be able to do that. And I know a lot of the stores have decided, let's stay open later. A couple of them have said they're going to be open later, 10 to 7 on Saturdays.
On Saturdays?
Yeah, on that Saturday.
On that Saturday. Now, Sorrento's is usually open from 4 to 10, but for that event, we will be open for lunchtime, so 11 to 1 on that day, in addition to the 4 to 10. So we may have some businesses that have some a little irregular hours just to accommodate people who wish to come down for the event.
well, this is going to kickstart things nicely. We have something going on downtown that is worth the trip downtown. Get on your bicycle and ride down. Leave your cars at home. That way you won't have to worry about parking. You could ride around the square with a silly hat on.
You were saying that they're having a special show at the movie too. And what is that now again? In the times for that?
That is going to be at 11 o'clock in the morning. It is free, and it is a showing of the Polar Express.
Oh, at what time?
That's a relatively recent
11,
movie.
Fairly recent, I think, within the last maybe
5 years.
3 to 5 years.
It was nice because it kind of went with our whole theme of Christmas Express.
Right.
We wanted to obviously include the tourism, the depot, and so that's where our gingerbread houses are, and that's where Santa will be. Santa's gonna come down from the North Pole that day and talk to the kids. So he'll be there, and I think
now,
we just
what
kind
will
of.
his hours be? Because people don't want to miss that either. He's going to come when he gets there, and he'll stay until he leaves, right?
Yes. I'm not sure.
That'll be opening and closing hours for Santa.
Santa is there from 1 to 4.
Okay.
Well, that's why it's good to bring notes.
I don't go anywhere without my notes. The train on the square downtown for the kids will be from 11 to 3. The movie Polar Express will be at 11. Santa will show up from 1 to 4. And then our Elf on the Shelf will just kind of be spreading Christmas. Yeah.
Yes.
You never know where the Elf on the Shelf's going to be. And
We're rotating just around the square somewhere.
spreading Christmas cheer.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Good deal. Now, tell us a little bit more about the train. Do the kids sit down in a train car on a little bench seat, or how does the train work, and what ages would it accommodate? Obviously, I would probably be a little large for the little train cars.
Actually, the pictures I've seen and the gentleman I've spoke with, he has adults in it, so you need to come down and take a ride on the train.
Ride the train.
And see if I fit.
Now, you mentioned the fact that he and his wife do this, and they take them whatever proceeds that they walk out of the community with, and use those for kids. That's a neat thing. I would have thought that the gentleman would have required some sort of nominal down payment or security, but he just comes in, sets up, and whatever he walks out of here with is after he takes his expenses out, and he uses them for the kids. That's a marvelous thing.
We're going to have where the kids will load and unload for the train. We're calling our train stop. So at our train stop, we'll have a little bucket there that people can put donations in, and we definitely appreciate it because, this gentleman's taking time out of his busy schedule to come down
And haul that.
And haul. I mean, he's got 9 train cars.
Yeah, see, that's no small.
Yeah, he
There's
gets
a
a
lot of
big
expense
trailer.
involved
Yes.
there. Yeah.
So he comes down and he does it, and him and his wife, and they have expenses involved in it as well. Not to mention the fact that they're taking time away from their family, their life. So, we'd really appreciate obviously everybody coming down and enjoying it, but also throw some money in there for him because it does go to a good cause.
Now, where is his train station? Where will his train stop be downtown?
Well, he's going to give rides around the inside sidewalk of the courthouse. So he'll be on the inner sidewalk. And I think what we'll do is we'll have our little train station on the west side of the courthouse. So that's where the kids can load and unload. And then he'll go around on the square. I don't know if he'll do 2 passes or how he'll do it, but he'll give the kids a couple passes around the courthouse that they can ride, and then they'll come back to the train station and the kids can unload.
Oh, that is going to be such fun.
You ladies are the very able spokesman for your downtown group. How many of you have been getting together on a regular basis as you make these plans?
Probably at each meeting we had 8 to probably.
Some we have less and
8,
some more.
yeah. Sometimes there are a few
that's
less,
neat.
and towards the end, then a few people who hadn't been there previously to the meetings were able to join in too. But I'd say that probably around 8 to 10 each time.
Well, that's neat. We have lacked what was known as a Chamber of Commerce per se for several years now. And I think it takes away something from a community like this not to have a viable chamber. You've kind of stepped in and kind of filled a void here on this particular year. And it looks to me like there's been a lot of planning and a lot of hard work still to go to make this come off. So kudos to you, ladies.
As you balance this on your scales, has it been more fun or more work?
Definitely fun.
Good
Yes.
deal.
Yeah.
There were things to accomplish, obviously, and phone calls to make, but I think each of us kind of did that in our free time, and no one person carried the whole burden. We had people who designed our flyers, which was Colleen
from Spirited.
From Spirited. She designed our flyers. We have yard signs. She just did a wonderful job designing that. And so
well,
I
one
think
of those owners of Spirited will be a big help to you, too. Troy is clever as all get out. He takes after his beloved mother.
That's a fact. 648-5510. Once again, we're almost through the doggone program, and we failed to invite the callers to make their comments and or suggestions. So if you feel you'd like to have some input, 648-5510. Kathy and Lisa would be very happy to respond to your comments and or questions. So, what is there one particular thing that you girls are really? I think this Christmas tree thing is maybe the highlight of the weekend. Is there any other particular thing that you are enthused about?
I'm just enthused about how it's going to transform downtown into a winter. It should transform it into a Christmas winter wonderland, much like a.
Boy, a skift of snow is going to mean a lot to you.
That would really
We want the
help.
perfect snow. We don't want that
No,
wet,
nothing
soppy stuff. I mean,
Couple inches of
When
ice.
you go to order things like that,
I know,
you have
right?
to be specific, you know.
The,
You just don't want to say snow. You get too much or too little.
Yeah, just a little snowfall for.
Are there any
ambiance.
particular merchants that you are aware of that are planning something extra or special? Do you have any idea? Of course, I know at the restaurant you're going to serve some special meals. There's no question about that, which is a very nice place to eat anyway, notwithstanding what the season is. Kathy, do you know of anybody that said, I'm going to do this or that?
I think a lot of the merchants are putting it out on the Facebook page if they're running any specials. I know myself personally at Small Town Creations, we're going to have Elizabeth Rage there signing her Christmas kindness book. So she's going to be there at our store in the midday to sign her book and to sell it. So that's one thing we're offering.
Is she from around here?
She is originally Chestnut and Lincoln area, yeah.
Rage? Did you say
Rage.
W-R?
W-R-A-G-E.
Yes.
And she wrote a children's book. It's the Christmas Kindness Kids. It's a great little book. I mean, my kids are all grown, and I don't have any grandbabies yet, but, you know, I said, I might just have to buy that and stash it aside for when I do. But it's just a cute little book. It reminds you to spread kindness. You know, in a world where you can be anything, be kind.
That's a pretty substantial statement there. You know, Small Town Creations, that's kind of a neat little name for a business here around the square here in Lincoln, Illinois. Small Town Creations.
Yeah.
And you show a number of different things to sell for whatever the season may be.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's very neat.
I think we should buy a whole bunch of her books and send them to the congressman. How's that grab you?
Waste your money on that bunch of people out there
They can't spell kind.
who are supposed to be earning their salaries but are more indicated in oh well.
Be that as it may.
Lose their license here if I go any further. The planning is not done by any means, although you've had many meetings. You meet soon to wrap up and make the final plans.
We do a lot by emails too, because all the businesses, they all have different hours.
Sure.
You know, some open, you know, earlier, like, you know, they're open earlier in the morning. Lisa's open later at night. So, you know, we all have different hours. So we definitely decided we're going to have a meeting after all the events to kind of see how things go. And definitely we want to have a meeting when we draw our winner for our contest downtown.
And what is the prize?
Okay, I'll go ahead. As Kathy mentioned, we have tickets that you can get at any of the participating businesses and or from our conductor at the depot. What you do is you go around to the businesses, and when you make a purchase at a particular business, they will stamp that. There's no... I mean, any amount, you can purchase any amount, so the smallest purchase will qualify you. And after you have 10 stamps out of the 21 businesses that are participating, then you can enter that ticket into a drawing. And the drawing will be for over $500 in gift certificates from the downtown businesses. So each business has contributed gift certificates, and if you're the winner, then you will get all of those gift certificates.
Did you say 21 businesses are participating?
Yes.
You know, that pretty much covers the square, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
You've got pretty good participation going.
Yes, we do.
I'm non-technological. I'm almost
Yeah, she didn't know the
borderline
difference between cremation
anti.
and crucifixion.
Yeah. Sometimes I
She's
get my words
non-technical.
twisted. Tell us what your email address is, Bill, so we can look it up now. What, your email address? How do you get a hold of
It
that?
would be
Or
the
on
best.
Facebook.
It would be on Facebook.
Okay, how do you do that then?
So you would just look up the.
Just look up Lincoln Christmas Express.
Okay, Lincoln Christmas Express, and on there we'll see just all the
activities.
itinerary.
everything
Okay,
that's going
good
on.
deal.
Yes.
Yep.
Wonderful. I hope you've sure done your work. I hope the community does its job now and participates and supports.
We would love
Yeah,
that.
ladies, would you a couple of minutes to wrap up here? Which one of you would like to start? And you can start and finish in a wrap up if you will, please. Really.
We just hope that everybody comes and enjoys the day and enjoys what the merchants of downtown Lincoln have tried to put together. And hopefully it will be everything that we have wanted and dreamed about, and a very enjoyable event for all ages.
Thank you so much for joining us today and telling us about this. I find it very heartening personally, and so does Bill. I speak for him sometimes. He doesn't like it, but I do.
Well, she speaks at the wrong time. It's the only problem. Lisa, Drew, and Kathy Williams, we appreciate very much your taking your time. You're both a couple of busy young ladies. I know Lisa's got to continue on, get her day. She's kickstarted it. Hopefully we kickstarted the day for her. And Kathy's got to get back to small town creation. So we appreciate the fact that you have taken this. Well, what we really appreciate is not only giving your time today, but kind of being the coalescence, the kickstarting of this whole idea. And it looks, this is the first time now, that several years that we've had something, what I think, bigger than we've ever had before here around the square, which is really neat. So we appreciate your effort, ladies, and those of your fellow business owners down there. I think the easiest way to close up today was, and this kind of emulates this expression, is be the reason somebody smiled today. Thank you for Viewpoint.